حق خطولة دحريقو زرقي أبعيدي زبقل قرمت دوب حقاي ما أياب سيبلو زريقهم دعا أبكلنا زلون من منطاي
The Australian government the full-scale genocidal war perpetrated against the people of Tigray since November 4, 2020. The forces of aggression include the Ethiopian National Defense Forces, the Eritrean Army, militia and special forces from neighboring region, the UAE by supplying military drones, and we heard reports recently surfaced that Somalian soldiers have also participated in the war. It's nearly 3 months since the people in Tigray were denied access to banks, telecom, health and other services. All corners that lead to the region are closed, leaving it with no food, medicines, and other essential supplies reaching residents. Most survived with little they had and sharing amongst neighbors. As it was, food security had been hit hard even before the war due to the huge desert locust infestation of crops, and the blockade has exacerbated the problem, leaving 4.5 million in need of emergency food aid. Naturally, in such desperate situations, women and children are the most affected, and the first humanitarians that arrived in Tigray have revealed that already malnourished children are dying of diarrhea after drinking from the rivers for lack of clean water. Though the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, Abiy Ahmed, addressing the House of People's Representatives, denied the presence of women and children among the 56,000 refugees who fled to Sudan, according to UNICEF, the majority are these vulnerable groups of society. With all the challenges, in many ways, Tigray stood above the national average, circumventing the health crisis in the country, putting in place one of the most robust healthcare systems. The primary healthcare coverage was stronger than the standard of the national average. Almost all women received maternity services, had child mortality rate less than the national average. However, hospitals and ambulances have been looted and destroyed during the war with no capacity to provide emergency health care. Therefore, cases of maternal deaths and obstetric fistula increased due to the home birth and complications as a result. Currently, the few hospitals left are in desperate need of medical supplies to provide vaccines for children and mothers. Stories of the elderly and those with acute illnesses dying because of the lack of medicines are rampant. Due to the lack of security, large number of women are being raped every day by the Eritrean army and the Ethiopian defense forces. Due to the shame factor, it's not possible to know the exact number of cases. We only know of the cases of those who seek medical care. As a result, the problem is highly downplayed. We have a special connection to Australia, not only because of the significant presence of diaspora community, but also due to the late Dr. Catherine Hamblin, the great Australian humanitarian who founded the Catherine Hamblin Fistula Foundation. Catherine lived most of her life in Ethiopia, helping rural women and girls, saving their lives and restoring their dignity. We have lost Dr. Hamblin a year ago, but the Fistula Foundation continues its work, and one of its centers happens to be in Mekelle, the capital of Tigray, heavily affected by the war. We maintain that strong bond, and we once again ask the Australian government to stand with the women, children, and generally the people of Tigray. The sporadic reports coming out of the region can only give a glimpse of the desperate situation. Therefore, we ask Australia to stand with us as we demand the immediate withdrawal of forces of aggression, the ceasing of the involvement of external forces such as the United Arab Emirates in bombing civilians, the opening of humanitarian corridors to allow the UN and other international organizations unfettered access to the millions starving, the restoration of all communications, the establishment of a UN-mandated investigation into the atrocities and violations of international law, war crimes. This is not a political plea. This is a desperate call to the international community, especially to the Australian government, to stand with us in saving the lives of the people of Tigray. Tigray Tarwet.
I stand with Tigray. 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 Stop the genocide. 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 Stop the war. 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 Ethiopian government, stop killing your own people. Stop killing your own people. The Nobel Peace Prize winner. The Nobel Peace Prize winner. Stop killing your own people. Stop killing your own people. Stop killing your own people.
القهبي مسكر مريم زي زرق حسيخي عوض زدخل دوكو عنكلنا زي زرق كي عنقلا كي تمسكري بحصار دم جاقانو خي كحد حد تخون مسكركي زدرت اللوخ كفرت وين ويفرت نجيزة قدا في نسو مسخقن حكم مسكري حساوي ينكسام الحسن